Just moments ago, something truly shocking happened. Digger Maines broke the internet. The man known for his charm, humor, and old-school distilling wisdom is now facing a battle far more challenging than anything he's ever encountered deep in the backwoods of Tennessee. For years, Digger has captured hearts with his quick wit and unmatched craftsmanship, but behind the laughter and copper stills, there have always been parts of his life he's kept hidden. This time, however, his desire for privacy has taken a pause. He's finally opening up about a personal struggle that few ever imagined, and it's left fans stunned. Digger Maines has officially broken his silence, and trust us, you don't want to miss what he's revealed. Digger, whose full name is Eric Digger Maines, has long been a familiar face in the modern world of American moonshining. As his friend Dwight, an old liquor man from across the mountains, once said, Popcorn and Dwight did a lot of business together, hinting at the deep roots of this close-knit distilling community. Digger's story began in Newport, Tennessee, where he was born on February 20th, 1964. Raised in a small but tightly bound community, he grew up surrounded by values of hard work, loyalty, and self-reliance, traits that would later define him both as a man and a craftsman. His father, Charlie Maines, worked as an undertaker at Brown Funeral Home, where young Eric spent much of his childhood. While most kids his age played outside, Digger sat quietly in the funeral home, doing his homework among the silence of the dead. As he grew older, he became more involved in his father's business. He learned how to embalm corpses, clean the facilities, and eventually earned his professional license. This experience taught him discipline, patience, and meticulous attention to detail. Working side by side with his father not only strengthened their bond, but also instilled in him a strong sense of purpose. Though the funeral business was steady and respectable, Digger's heart was drawn to another world, the mysterious, rebellious craft of moonshining. He admired the old-timers who lived free, self-sufficient lives, connected deeply to the land. Digger once said that he didn't get into the liquor business for money. Instead, he was inspired by the kindness and humility of the men who made it. These moonshiners weren't criminals in his eyes. They were the unsung heroes of the mountains, helping neighbors and embodying community spirit. His education came from two sources: the technical skills he learned at his father's funeral home and the ancient craft he absorbed from local distillers. But it was under the legendary Popcorn Sutton that Digger truly found his calling. Marvin Popcorn Sutton, a famous Appalachian moonshiner and bootlegger from Maggie Valley, North Carolina, was born in 1946 and came from a long line of distillers. Popcorn's mentorship was life-changing for Digger. He taught him every aspect of the trade, from selecting grains to perfecting the art of distillation. Under Popcorn's wing, Digger didn't just learn how to make liquor, he learned how to preserve a tradition. He eventually returned to his hometown, opening his own business and living a quiet life surrounded by the forests and hills that inspired generations of moonshiners before him. For years, Digger kept a low profile, preferring privacy over fame. But his world changed when television came calling. His longtime partner and friend, Mark Ramsey, had already joined the show Moonshiners in its third season and wanted Digger to join him. Initially, Digger refused. He had spent 4 decades perfecting his craft in secret. Why go public now? Appearing on television went against the very code of moonshining. But Mark's persistence finally convinced him, and Digger joined the show in its 4th season. From that moment on, Digger became one of moonshiner's most beloved figures. His authenticity set him apart. Fans could see he wasn't acting, he was living the craft. His chemistry with Mark Ramsey was electric. Their brotherly bond, humor, and mutual respect brought genuine warmth to the series. Together, they pushed the limits of moonshining, experimenting with ingredients like elderberries and creating unique recipes that honored tradition while exploring innovation. Before the show, Digger and Mark made their liquor illegally, always working in secrecy to avoid law enforcement. But fame brought opportunity. The duo partnered with Sugarland's distilling company, launching legal moonshine products with flavors like hazelnut rum and rye apple shine. This partnership marked a major turning point. Digger went from hiding his work in the shadows to proudly seeing his name on bottles sold across America. For the first time, he could legally practice his art and share it with the world. Television fame also brought financial stability, something few moonshiners ever had. Digger could now support his family without fear of raids or arrests. His skills and reputation even earned him a spot as a judge on Moonshiner's master distiller. Yet despite all the fame and success, Digger remained grounded. He still preferred his quiet workshop in Newport, where he could craft spirits with his best friend Mark by his side. Together, they built a legacy rooted in loyalty, tradition, and craftsmanship. But not everything in the Moonshiners' world was smooth sailing. The show itself became the center of controversy. Fans often questioned its authenticity. After all, how could people film illegal moonshining without being arrested? Rumors spread that Digger and Mark had been detained, but these claims were false. While Digger was a genuine moonshiner, much of the show's illegal drama was staged for entertainment. Still, the techniques and traditions shown on screen were real, and Digger's expertise was undeniable. Moonshining, as Digger often explained, is both an art and a science. It begins with fermenting grains or fruits to produce mash, then heating it in copper stills to extract alcohol vapors. Copper plays a key role by filtering out impurities, resulting in a smoother, purer spirit. Federal laws, however, make unlicensed distilling illegal, and anyone producing alcohol for sale without permits risks severe penalties. While the show dramatized these risks for TV, it still reflected real challenges faced by distillers across the country. In 2024, a federal court case in Texas reignited debates about home distilling laws, with some arguing that strict regulations on hobby distillers were unconstitutional. This sparked hope that private, small-scale distilling might one day become legal, something Digger has quietly supported. Over the years, Digger and Mark's partnership has remained strong, free of drama and scandal. While some Moonshiners' cast members faced legal troubles, Digger stayed clear of controversy. He remained focused on his craft, his friendship with Mark, and his community in Newport. Fans admire him not only for his skill, but for his integrity. From a small-town boy learning his father's trade in a funeral home to becoming one of America's most respected distillers, Digger Maine's journey is a story of passion, perseverance, and authenticity. He turned a once illicit craft into a respected art form, and in doing so, became a legend whose story continues to inspire dreamers across the mountains and beyond. The show Moonshiners has often faced criticism for allegedly glorifying illegal activity and, in a sense, encouraging people to bend or even break the law. Yet, for one of its most beloved stars, Digger Maine's, these controversies were nothing compared to the personal battle he would later face. During season 13, Digger addressed growing speculation about his health and bravely disclosed that he was suffering from a serious illness. In his own words, he hinted that the condition was making him go big before he goes home. However, it wasn't until he revealed the full truth that fans understood the depth of his struggle. He had been diagnosed with chronic lymphocytic leukemia, a slow-progressing cancer of the blood and bone marrow. This particular illness is marked by the abnormal growth of lymphocytes, white blood cells vital to the immune system. For someone like Digger, whose entire life revolved around physical labor in the rugged Appalachian Mountains and the demanding art of moonshining, the diagnosis was more than devastating. It was life-altering. After a series of detailed medical tests, he confirmed the news himself. "My definite diagnosis is chronic lymphocytic leukemia, a condition that is not terminal. Ain't no fun, though. Probably will just make me miserable until something else kills me. Your prayers you've extended are more than welcome and felt." Digger's reaction to his diagnosis was surprising and deeply admirable. Rather than seeking sympathy or withdrawing from the spotlight, he faced his illness with the same grit and humor that had made him a fan favorite. He continued working, showing resilience and courage in the face of uncertainty. The moonshining community and the show's viewers immediately rallied behind him, offering prayers and messages of encouragement. Yet there was an undeniable sense of unease, a quiet fear that their beloved moonshiner was fighting an invisible battle that could take him away too soon. One of the most emotional moments in the show's history came when Digger shared the news of his diagnosis with his close friend and partner, Mark Ramsey. The raw, unscripted exchange between them captured the heartbreak of two men confronting an uncertain future together. For longtime fans who had watched their friendship evolve over many seasons, the scene felt deeply personal and real. It wasn't about television drama. It was about loyalty, vulnerability, and brotherhood. When the episode finally aired, both men watched it alongside fans, and the emotion in their faces said everything words could not. Mark's response to Digger's illness was one of unwavering loyalty. Their friendship and partnership remained unchanged despite the challenges ahead. Even the Discovery Channel and the production team at Magilla Entertainment handled the revelation with remarkable sensitivity. Instead of exploiting Digger's illness for ratings or drama, they allowed him to share his story on his own terms. The producers respected his privacy, supported his strength, and refused to turn his battle into a spectacle. They even adjusted production schedules to accommodate his health needs, ensuring he could continue doing what he loved without drawing attention to his medical condition. Chronic lymphocytic leukemia requires careful monitoring and occasional treatment, which can mean regular hospital visits and bouts of fatigue. Despite this, Digger remained active, continuing to work with fellow Moonshiners like Stephen Ray Tickle, Josh Owens, and Tim Smith. The tight-knit cast supported him wholeheartedly, proving that their bond extended beyond television. Fans, too, showed immense love and concern through social media, sending prayers, personal stories, and words of encouragement. Many who had experienced leukemia themselves offered advice and empathy, creating a virtual support network that lifted Digger's spirits during his most difficult moments. Living with chronic leukemia is not easy. It brings constant fatigue, weakness, and a range of invisible symptoms. But Digger's determination to keep working and living his passion demonstrated his remarkable resilience. While there is no permanent cure, treatments for the illness have evolved significantly. In its early stages, doctors often adopt a watch-and-wait approach, avoiding unnecessary treatments until symptoms demand action. When intervention becomes necessary, targeted therapies are preferred over traditional chemotherapy because they attack cancer cells more precisely, reducing side effects and preserving quality of life. In severe cases, a stem cell transplant might be considered, though no such details about Digger's condition have been publicly confirmed. What truly matters is that Digger continues to take care of himself while staying true to the work and lifestyle he loves. His illness hasn't changed his values or spirit. It has only highlighted his strength. Fans often remark that he remains the same old Digger, determined, humorous, and fiercely passionate about his craft. When Moonshiners first aired on December 6, 2011, on the Discovery Channel, no one predicted it would grow into one of the network's most successful and enduring reality series. Over a decade later, it has produced hundreds of episodes and multiple spin-offs, shining a light on a hidden world that many Americans had only heard about in folklore: the art of making moonshine in the Appalachian Mountains. The show, produced by Magilla Entertainment, follows real-life moonshiners from Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. By 2022, it had already aired more than 260 episodes, joining the ranks of other hit Discovery shows like Deadliest Catch and Gold Rush, which celebrate people who work dangerous, isolated, and unconventional jobs. The timing of Moonshiners was perfect. Across America, craft spirits were gaining popularity, and small distilleries were popping up nationwide. The show tapped into that curiosity, giving viewers a taste of both history and rebellion. Moonshining itself dates back centuries, rooted in early American farming traditions where leftover grain was turned into whiskey. When the federal government imposed alcohol taxes in the late 1700s, some farmers refused to comply, sparking the famous Whiskey Rebellion. During the Prohibition era of the 1920s, moonshining reached its peak, supplying illegal liquor across the nation. Even after alcohol became legal again, many rural communities continued the practice, turning it into a cultural tradition passed down through generations. By the time Moonshiners premiered, many of the old masters of the craft were fading away, and the show became a way to preserve their legacy. But filming a show about illegal activity wasn't easy. The crew had to navigate dangerous remote terrain and ensure that no real crimes were being committed on camera. Local authorities often questioned the authenticity of the show, claiming that what audiences saw was partly dramatized, using staged raids and controlled environments to recreate the moonshining experience safely. Despite that, the series maintained a strong sense of authenticity thanks to its cast, real people with real stories and deep roots in the craft. Tim Smith, one of the earliest cast members, had been a lifelong moonshiner who later went legit by launching Climax Moonshine. His partner, Stephen Ray Tickle, brought humor, charisma, and authenticity to the screen. Later, new faces like Mark Ramsey and Digger Maines joined, followed by Josh Owens, whose daredevil energy added a youthful spark. Together, they represented a blend of old and new approaches to moonshining, some sticking to family recipes, others experimenting with new flavors and methods. Even after personal setbacks, including injuries and health issues, the cast's dedication never wavered. Josh Owens continued working despite a serious motorcycle accident, and Tickle maintained his signature humor through personal struggles. Though some cast members left or faced disagreements with production, the spirit of the show remained strong. Over time, Moonshiners evolved into more than just entertainment. It became a cultural phenomenon. It consistently drew high ratings, inspired spin-offs like Tickle 2013 and Moonshiners, Whiskey Business 2019, and helped launch legal careers for many of its stars. Critics have debated its authenticity, but fans continue to love its heart, humor, and raw portrayal of a dying art form. The show even created economic opportunities for its stars, who now own legal distilleries, write books, and make public appearances. Whether entirely real or partially dramatized, Moonshiners has built a powerful legacy, one rooted in tradition, resilience, and authenticity. For Digger Maines, that legacy now carries even deeper meaning. Despite his illness, he continues to represent the spirit of the show, enduring, passionate, and forever loyal to the mountain way of life. Over the years, Moonshiners has proven that it's more than just a TV show. It's a heartfelt chronicle of a hidden culture that refuses to fade away. Each episode reveals not only the skill and danger behind crafting illegal liquor, but also the deep sense of pride, community, and heritage that drives the Moonshiners. These men and women aren't just chasing profit. They're carrying forward a legacy that their ancestors began centuries ago. For fans, the show feels like a window into a forgotten America, one where self-reliance, hard work, and tradition still matter. Digger Maines in particular embodies that old spirit. His calm demeanor, deep knowledge of distilling, and sense of humor have made him one of the most respected figures on the show. Even in the face of illness, he continues to symbolize resilience. Many viewers have commented that his presence brings a sense of stability to the series. He's not just a moonshiner, he's a storyteller, historian, and craftsman all at once. Through his words and actions, fans see a man who values friendship, honor, and the satisfaction of honest labor above all else. As Digger battles chronic lymphocytic leukemia, the show has taken on new emotional depth. His story reminds people that behind the moonshine stills and rustic jokes, these are real individuals with real struggles. Watching him continue to work despite exhaustion or pain inspires both his co-stars and his fans. It's no longer just about making liquor, it's about perseverance and finding purpose even when life throws unexpected challenges. The Discovery Channel's choice to handle Digger's diagnosis with sensitivity and respect has also earned widespread praise. Rather than turning his illness into a storyline for ratings, they chose authenticity and dignity. This respectful approach allowed viewers to see Digger's humanity rather than his hardship. By letting him control how much he wanted to share, the producers honored not just him, but also the loyal audience who has followed his journey since his debut. In many ways, Digger's situation has brought the Moonshiners community closer together. Fans have shared their own experiences with cancer, offering words of empathy and strength. Fellow cast members have shown constant support, standing by Digger both on and off screen. Their unity is a reflection of the show's real heart, family. Whether it's by blood, friendship, or shared struggle, the Moonshiners treat each other like kin. As for Digger himself, He continues to show gratitude toward the fans who send prayers and well wishes. In interviews and social media posts, he often thanks people for their kindness and makes lighthearted jokes, reminding everyone that humor can be the best medicine. Despite moments of fatigue and the toll of treatment, his determination hasn't faded. He still joins Mark Ramsey in the woods, checks stills, experiments with new recipes, and mentors younger distillers. His illness has not defined him. It has simply revealed his strength. The history of moonshining in America mirrors Digger's personal journey. Both are stories of resistance and survival. Just as moonshiners defied odds, laws, and time to keep their craft alive, Digger continues to push forward despite his medical battles. His courage has made him an even more cherished figure among fans and has elevated Moonshiners from a show about illegal liquor to a tribute to human resilience. Looking back at the show's origins, it's remarkable how far it has come. When Moonshiners premiered in 2011, many expected it to last only a season or two. But its mix of authenticity, drama, and tradition struck a powerful chord with audiences. The appeal wasn't just in the moonshine, it was in the people. Every laugh, every loss, and every jar of clear liquor carried a story. As the seasons went on, the cast became like extended family to millions of viewers who tuned in every week. The show's success also opened doors for its stars. Tim Smith turned his once illegal operation into a thriving legal business with Climax Moonshine, now sold across the U.S. Mark and Digger partnered with Sugarland's distilling company to bring their signature recipes to the public. Josh Owens, despite enduring near-fatal accidents, has continued to be a vital part of the show, showcasing what true grit looks like. And Stephen Ray Tickle, known for his humor and mischief, remains a fan favorite whose charm balances the show's darker, more serious moments. Still, among them all, Digger's story stands out as one of quiet endurance. His openness about his health struggles has made him a symbol of strength for those fighting similar battles. By choosing to remain on the show and continue his work, he demonstrates that life, even with illness, can still be full of purpose, laughter, and legacy. As Moonshiners moves forward, it continues to evolve while staying true to its roots. It remains a show about the power of tradition, friendship, and determination. For fans, the sight of Digger and Mark standing side by side, working a still deep in the Appalachian woods, serves as a reminder that some things in life, like loyalty, courage, and craftsmanship, never lose their shine, and perhaps that's why Moonshiners has lasted so long. It's not just a show about making liquor, it's about making meaning out of hardship. It's about people like Digger Maines, who refuse to give up no matter how steep the mountain or how heavy the burden. His journey, both personal and professional, captures the spirit of a culture that continues to thrive against all odds. As long as there are stories to tell, fans to inspire, and stills to fire, Digger's legacy, and the legacy of Moonshiners, will live on for generations to come.